Welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm Jane Mountrose, your host, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host Phoenix, and we have special guests today, Ruth Anderson and Terry Angel from Enlightened World Network, and they're going to be sharing the Angelic Gems with us. So it's a healing tool. If you haven't heard about it, you're going to learn a lot more in this hour. And it's something, actually, I have some gems here. I keep them on my desk. Um, it's something that it's very intuitive, wonderful, and powerful and transformational. It just is many things. And I just enjoy them so much. So welcome to Terry and Ruth. And we're going to start a little differently. We usually start by creating a sacred space, and we're going to actually do that. Ruth and Terry are going to do that for us. But first, they're going to tell us a little bit about the gems so that we can be oriented towards what we're going to be doing. So would you like to start there?
Sure. Thank you, Jane. So the gems were channeled to me by Archangel Raphael 2 years ago, I think, Terry. And we've been working with the energies ever since. And what Archangel Raphael showed me was gems. Now, these are glass gems, but they've been infused with energies from the archangels. And there are 12 different colors that correspond with the gems. So if you look at the gem, you think, well, that looks green, and it does on the outside. But when you hold it and really feel into the energy on the inside, there's 12 different colors that you might experience. And each color is represented by a different member of the spiritual divinity or archangels. So we're going to invite in the energies of those 12. So if you wouldn't mind, wherever you are, just help yourself to get comfortable. We're going to be in a meditative space here. And so first, let's just go in, feel the chair underneath you. Just take a deep cleansing breath, close your eyes. And we're just going to jump right in. And we are going to start with the color platinum. And platinum is represented by the energy of God, the creator. So for just a minute here, let's invite in the energy of the creator. Just pay attention to what you are feeling or seeing, hearing. Now we're going to go on to the next color, which is gold. And the color gold has to do with the Christ consciousness. So let's invite in the color gold and Christ. Notice if it feels different to you than the silver color did. I certainly feel a difference. Jane, do you feel any difference between the two?
Yes, and I'm just overwhelmed because they're such beautiful, powerful forces. It just feels fabulous.
Well, it's hard to believe we're going to do 10 more divine entities here. We're going to move on to the color blue, and that is Archangel Raphael. Now, you might be used to seeing Archangel Raphael as green, but for the gems, we work with the color blue with Archangel Raphael, and that blue helps us to move out energy from our bodies that no longer serves us. So if you're in pain, maybe you're hungry, maybe you're tired, you can work with this color blue to clear out that energy. So let's just invite in Archangel Raphael and that color blue. Terry, are you sensing Archangel Raphael?
Yes, most definitely.
Remember, the gems are his gift to us. And when I saw him very much in warrior form today, very strong warrior. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for these gems and for being here with us today. Now we're going to shake things up a little bit. We're going to bring in the color red, and the red has to do with Archangel Metatron. And the color red helps us to clear out the bloodstream, as well as constructs that we think or we believe that no longer serve us. So let's invite in Archangel Metatron and the color red. Archangel Metatron always comes in with big energy, very strong, big energy. Phoenix, are you feeling Archangel Metatron?
Outside dog, very familiar. Very, very familiar, big. Mhm.
He definitely always comes in with a large presence to him. So let's move on. We're moving on to pink, Archangel Cassiel. And pink helps us to release grief and feelings of isolation. So let's ask in Archangel Cassiel. Archangel Cassiel to me always presents as male and female, and with the face of every nationality. So literally for me, the face shifts from male to female, young to old, different races, different cultures. Fascinating to me. Anybody feeling anything in particular with Cassiel?
Feels very stable to me. I don't know. It feels strong and stable.
Phoenix, you're
Very strongly right here.
okay. Doing some releasing there. So let's just sit with these energies that we've got going here. We've got 5 here with us. Let's just sit in this fruit salad of spiritual energy. It's amazing how different each one feels. You might notice that one or the other is more prominent to you. That would be one for you to pay attention to. Maybe ask if they've got a message for you. Archangel Cassiel is reminding me the importance of every person knowing and loving the divinity. That's beautiful. Thank you. We're going to move on to orange. Orange is Archangel Gabriel, or depending on if you see male or female. The orange stones. So let's invite in Archangel Gabriel or Gabriel with orange energy. Is anything standing out in particular for any of you about the orange?
Feels very loving to me.
I'm getting the male and female at the same time.
Yeah.
Very balanced, grounded and balanced for me. This next one is kind of a surprise. It was to me, and it is to a lot of folks. It's the color black. And working with Archangel Azrael for death and transition. And it's about embracing the unknown. And we know whenever we go through a transition or a transformation, there is a death. Might be death of belief patterns or constructs or how you've handled relationships, but there is a death and a rebirth. And that's represented with the color black and Archangel Azrael. So let's just invite in Archangel Azrael to work with us right now. Archangel Azrael has shown me that he comes in to help people pass over. And he always presents to me, not in divine gold filigree that you might see with some archangels, but more dressed as a common person. And to me, it just represents that he is there for every single person, no matter what their belief system, no matter what their lot in life. So I'm always kind of surprised by Archangel Azrael. Is anybody noticing anything special with Archangel Azrael?
I'm just noticing energy in this area. It's kind of moving around.
See with me.
The heart space and communication space, the high heart.
Mhm.
Yes, interesting. Okay, and let's bring in one more, and we're going to the color brown. Archangel Uriel helps us with the color brown to clear out toxins from our body and pollutants from our bodies, as well as from our thinking. Maybe there's something that you've been thinking that really is not in your best interest or anybody else's. And Archangel Uriel helps with that. So let's invite in the color brown. Archangel Uriel is presenting himself to me right now as if he is digging compost. So he's got a big plot that's got compost in it, and thinking about compost. And you might think, well, that's your rubbish, your trash that you're getting rid of, but it also helps to serve to be nutrients for other growth that's coming in. So he's showing me the pollutants, how that can be transformed, transmuted into something nourishing that can support our growth and transformation. Thank you, Archangel Uriel. That's interesting. So we're going to move on to the yellow color now. This is with Archangel Raziel. And if you haven't worked with Archangel Raziel, you're in for a treat. He tends to be lighthearted and amusing. He helps to clear out things that come in on our DNA, down our ancestral line, might come in from alternate lifetimes, but often it's things that no longer serve us and really maybe never did. Some of those family beliefs that came in that had nothing to do with you, but came in and impacted you anyway. So that's the kind of thing that Archangel Raziel works with us on. So let's invite in Archangel Raziel and the yellow clearing energy. Is anybody feeling Archangel Raziel coming in? Terry,
always feel him. Oh, go ahead. Someone else wanted to talk.
Terry, what are you feeling?
Raziel, to me, when he comes in, is all about fun. So I feel a lighter vibration. I feel excitement and just a lot of fun type of energy. He wants us to remember that we should be having fun in this lifetime.
And lighten up a little bit. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I experienced too. Just a lot of joy and magic and rainbows, rainbow colors.
Well, so
Beautiful.
many of us light workers tend to be very serious about the work that we're doing in the world. And Archangel Raziel reminds us it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, moving on to, you cannot see it. There we go, green. And green is represented by Archangel Ariel, and it has to do with the energy of nature. And nature's energies are uplifting and fun, joyous energies as well as really nurturing. So let's invite in Archangel Ariel and the energies of nature. With this energy comes the elementals. If you're not familiar with the elementals, there's dragons, fairies, water divas, nymphs, all kinds of different energies that have to do with nature. I'm thinking of Carol Ann Cross, one of our soul sisters from Australia, and she has taught a series on the different elementals. She would be teaching us about the salamander right now. Did any of you notice anything in particular with Archangel Ariel?
I did. I went right back to some pine cones that I hiked through this morning, and I just felt so grounded and so a part of the earth. It was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So grounding. That's how I felt, just in present here.
That's
And
beautiful.
beautiful feminine energy.
Yes. And where Terry's staying right now, she's got a plethora of fairies outside her door.
They're always playing tricks and having fun, just like Raziel. And Ariel loves to play with the fairies.
So Terry's been surrounded in that energy for about 2 weeks now. It's
Wow.
fun. And so we've got 2 left. This one's a big one. The white energy is Archangel Michael. Now you might know of his energy as being blue, but for the gems, it's white. And his energy is very strong as it comes in with the gems. So let's invite in Archangel Michael. That white energy could come in looking in a myriad of ways. It could be a wave of energy. It could be raining on you. It could be splatter paint. It could be a vapor that goes through you. So many ways. Sometimes it's like a lightning bolt. I personally feel like I'm standing under a waterfall of the white energy. Anybody else? What did you come up with the white?
I'm in a cloud.
Mhm.
A cloud, and it just completely covering me, and it's a bit playful as well for me, being in the cloud and just surrounded.
That's awesome. Terry?
Well, Michael brings in the element of fire. So this time, as I tuned into him, I saw the white smoke. And just a reminder that, you know, anything that we want to give over to be released, he takes that and burns it with the fire. So the white smoke is that symbol of everything just going back into the universe to be transmuted.
One of the things I love so much about these gems, the energies present themselves to each person differently. And it's exactly what that person needs. It's magical to me,
Mhm.
I think. And the last color is Divine Mother, and purple, radiant purple. And she helps us clear out anything that we think is keeping us from being in oneness with the divine. Now, you'll notice I said that we think, because in reality, there is nothing that keeps us from the divine except for our own thinking. So let's invite in dear Divine Mother. Her energy to me is so nurturing, so loving. And what I saw her do was to go to each of the four of us and everybody who's watching, whether it's live or whether it's on replay, and put a special purple cloak over each one of us and give us a blessing. And I'm getting total body goosebumps as I'm saying that.
Me too.
Are you? I love that.
Mm.
Love that. What are you? Phoenix is rubbing her arm. She's feeling the goosebumps too.
Mhm. Yeah, I can feel.
Divine Mother has been so present. I know for me and for Terry and for so many right now. Her work is so great and she's using so many of us. And I'm just so honored to be able to share these gems with each of you and have you all be able to really feel each of the members of the spiritual divinity represented by them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. So beautiful. There's so much there. It's almost overwhelming. Like I'm just like radiating. I feel like it really, it's more than filling us with, I think, love and light, which is our goal here. And it is such a, well, all of it is such a wonderful support system for us when if we want to make the world a better place, because that is what it is about. It's about connecting with the truth of ourselves and what's happening in us, and allowing the angels to support us in releasing anything that we don't need anymore, and providing all kinds of guidance. I know
Mhm.
working myself with Archangel Metatron and Michael, I know that some of these angels, well, all of them, probably all of these angels are here to help us in whatever kind of transformation we're going through personally, and also on the planet as a whole. So it's a beautiful thing to connect with them, and also to realize that they want us to connect with them. We don't have to feel humble, like, well, maybe they don't want to talk to me, or that kind of thing. They're waiting for us to connect, because it helps us to rise up to a place where we can be of more value for ourselves and for everyone around us.
Yeah, good point. Someone told me earlier today they felt like they had lost their connection with Archangel Michael. And I said, we never lose it. He's always there. The angels are always available. It's us that sometimes steps away or gets into our head and get into the fear instead of staying in our heart. But I just wanted to say, Jane, I love what you said. When Ruth brought this message forward of what the angels had given her and this beautiful, beautiful method of using these gems, I found it to be very transformative. So when we're working with them, whatever needs to be released inside of us, that's what they help us to do. And they are our helpers. They're here to help us through whatever experience we're going through in life. So I am just very grateful that this method has come into the world, that it was birthed in by Dr. Ruth Anderson. And I'm so honored to be working with her with this modality. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just want
oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Finn.
to mention for those of us who are not quite familiar with the angels and the divinity, that we have information now and then. And, we can do research on them if it resonates with us, because I did not grow up knowing about the angels and the divinity in that way and being able to access it. And it only came later on, a few years ago, where the angels, I call it, presented themselves to me in this.
And they do.
Mhm.
I started hearing angel chorus every morning when I was preparing to meditate, and no one else was hearing it. I'm asking, is anyone hearing that? Is anyone hearing that? Crazy. But it was them reaching out, which was so beautiful. And then that began my journey of exploring the angels, and they would present themselves to me in all of these amazing ways. And I researched and continued researching and exploring and realizing that I've always had the access, always had this beautiful resource that I can tap into. So for those of us who might not necessarily resonate right now, or may be thinking, I feel all of this beautiful energy when Ruth is bringing in the energy, helping to bring it in, and you can go explore and learn about this part of us, this beautiful part of us, the angelic realm. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And Phoenix, do you know who the best teachers are about the archangels? The archangels.
I thought it was a trick question.
No. When I was really going through my huge growth time, not that I'm not growing still, but it was a massive growth time for several years. And I kept saying, I want a mentor. I just want a mentor who can tell me where I've been, where I'm going, and what I'm going through. And Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael kept saying, no one can tell you this. We are your teachers. No person knows what you've gone through or where we're taking you. So stop looking for somebody in a body.
Right. And really, it's about more connecting with the truth that we hold within ourselves through the angels,
Right.
I think, because that is so true. And doing healing work for so many years, I realized pretty quickly that there's a big difference between someone telling you something, even if you know it's true, and actually having it come from that truth come from within you. Like someone can say, well, you don't have to be afraid. And you can even tell yourself, well, I know I don't have to be afraid. But we do become afraid. And just knowing that the knowledge is not at all the same as the experience of truth within. And to me, that's the most important thing, is to connect with our own truth and then allow all of this guidance to flow through us and create the miracles that it does.
Now, Jane, you've been using the gems yourself.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing a story or two about something that you've experienced with the gems?
Well, I keep them in here in my space where I work, and I meditate with them in front of me every day. So I have them there, and whenever I feel guided to, I'll just draw a gem. And if something is happening, especially like if I'm not just like feeling anxious, or something is irritating me, or I'm afraid of something, I'll just draw the gem and I'll just hold it, and I can feel everything shifting in my body. And I'm pretty intuitive with them, actually. I think I mentioned that to you, Ruth. I don't necessarily ask what the colors are or what the angels are. I just sense it and go with what I receive from it. But it is Well, even just now, grabbing this one out of my little bowl, I can feel something magical happening. And it's almost unexplainable to me, but I find it to be transformational and really, really helpful. Just at those times, well, gee, I'm feeling a little irritated, or I'm just not quite here. I'm not feeling quite present. I don't know what's wrong with me. And then I just take a gem and feel whatever it is that comes from holding it. And they take me in many different directions. A lot of times I'll just connect directly with an angel like Michael or Metatron or one of the angels, and then they provide guidance to me.
I love how often they use humor with it. We were doing this the other day. Phoenix, you were watching this where we also translated into Spanish. So we were going through it. Montserrat Melendez is the one who hosts that with me. And we were going through it and we were doing one of the colors, and I said how I had seen it. And Monsi says, I think it was Archangel Michael. She said, he just threw a bucket of white paint on me. And so often it's just like, lighten up, just have some fun. You know, whatever you're holding on to so seriously, it doesn't have to be that serious. So it's really fun how they can shift our energy and shift our perspective just in a nanosecond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have to now order my gems. After that, Jade, I have to order my gems.
Well, I suppose we should say on there how to order gems as well, Jane, because we didn't do that. So I'll get a link and text it to you, and then maybe you could put it in the description or.
Sure. And you can just tell everybody.
I don't know if there's.
And I will put it in the comments too.
Miss, can you share a bit more about how you got the insights and the wisdom about the gems?
I remember the day very clearly because Terry, we were launching one of the anthologies. We had collected chapters and we're launching an anthology on Amazon. And I was really nervous about it. And I went into meditation and I could see me in spirit pacing. And I saw my guides, the archangels, and I said, why aren't you pacing? Why aren't you nervous? and they said, because it's already taken care of. And I thought, okay, then I won't be nervous. But then I realized I was wearing a hat. And I thought, in spirit, I'm wearing this top hat. And I took it off and I looked at it and it was covered in green gems.
Wow.
And I thought, what is this? I mean, it was silly. I'm wearing this top hat and it's gems and it's showy. And I thought, what is this? So the next day, when I went into meditation, I'm sitting at a round table because so often I'm at a round table with the angels for my work. And the top hat is in front of me. And I thought, okay, I'm going to learn more about this top hat. So I started looking at the green stones that were all over this top hat. And I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And I held one of the stones and I could see that there was energy in the stone. And I said, what is this? I have to know more about this. And then they actually did a funny thing, which was, Terry, I don't know if you remember this when we started out, they said, put it on your tongue. I said, excuse me? What? And he said, no, put it on your tongue. And so in my mind's eye, I put this gem on my tongue. And then there was this explosion of color. And I could feel the clearing of the color. And then I that day got online with Terry and Deb Goldberg. And I said, okay, guys, I don't know what this is, but go into meditation with me and let's look at these gems. And so we would, and every day we were taught a little bit more about a different color and what archangel was working with that and what energy was being cleared. So that's how it started. Yeah.
That is
That's amazing.
absolutely
Yeah, I remember watching, and I told you this. I watched you had a video where you did that as a group, with the putting them on your tongue, and it was either that night or the night after that. I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, and I'll do little meditations and things. So I was doing some kind of a meditation, and this voice came and said, "Put one of those gems in your mouth." So I did. So it's great to have them. I mean, I would highly recommend actually having them, but you can also visualize having them and holding one. It's,
Mhm.
I think it is a very intuitive system. And I
Mm.
think again, you kind of have to play with it and allow it
Yeah.
to kind of unfold for you. But I
Yeah.
thought that was so funny because it was in the middle of the night and I wasn't thinking about gems or anything. Like, put one in your mouth.
I know we had talked about doing a disclaimer. Do it visual or virtually.
Right. Just pretend you're putting it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. I didn't have them with me. I just pretended.
One of the
But it's so
interesting
funny.
things about the gems is as I'm holding these two, and if Terry were holding one of them and she felt it, it might feel yellow to her. If I held the same gem, it might feel orange because the energy shifts based on who is working with it and what they need. So when you order them, you get a packet of, there's 33 gems actually in a pouch, and it comes with a deck of angelic gem cards. So in lots of directions on how to use them. But every time you pick them up, they're going to feel differently just based on what you need.
So that then therefore suggests that trusting yourself, because you said you feel the color. You feel the color, so that trusting yourself and what comes for you in that moment is most important, yes?
Exactly right. And
Yeah.
Jane's 100% right. You don't have to be holding the gems. You don't have to own the gems. When you learn to work with those energies, you can call on them at any time.
Yeah. And it's a personal relationship. That's what I absolutely love. It's a personal relationship that we get to have with these beautiful beings of light.
What
And I actually,
is
when
that?
I receive my gems, just like and there are two sets of cards that come with them. When I receive them, and just as I would with any kind of an oracle, I ask it to come into harmony with me.
Mhm.
And I say that even other times with the gems, although not so much anymore. But just to recognize that the angels are working directly with me with the gems. That's what I feel personally. That
Yeah.
they're present to me in the process, and it really is beautiful.
Yeah, and you make it your own. The more you work with it, the more you get familiar with each one, and you'll know which one is coming to you, which one's speaking with you and guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
But I love, what Ruth was teaching was this clock that was shown very clearly to put the divinity in that direction around the clock. And when we start out that way, inviting in all those angels and the divinity, then we're opening ourselves to being guided, to being led. So when you hold the gem, then all of them are already there and present, and then you'll know which one is stepping forward to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an intuition that comes in.
Right.
There's other ways to work with this energy as well. What Terry's referring to as the clock, the archangels had shown me by we started at 12 when I was introducing the divinity and going around. So God is at 12, Christ is at 1. Then it comes all the way around. Archangel Azrael with death and transformation is at 6. And then coming back around with Archangel Michael and Divine Mother. And with the meditations a day that we do on Enlightened World Network, if there isn't a meditator that day, I will ask my guides, are you thinking I should do the meditation? And typically the answer is yes. And so sometimes they'll have me use the gems. And one particular day I was working with the gems for the meditation, and they had me create the clock with the divinity around me. And then they said, stand in the middle of the clock. So I'm leading the meditation. I'm having people stand in the middle of the clock. And they said, now notice, is there any number that's drawing your attention?
Mm-hmm.
So I said to folks, just look around the clock. Is there one of the numbers that's drawing your attention? Now go to that number. And there you're going to speak with that archangel or that member of the spiritual divinity and just listen and see if they have a message for you. And they called it Angel Games because it really was like a game. You're working with your intuition and sensing, 11 o'clock, Divine Mother. Okay, Divine Mother, what message do you have for me? So it's kind of fun to see all the different ways that you can work with that energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that one too. I remember you shared that one time, and I think that is so much fun just to focus on what number it might be, and then see where it goes. Especially if you don't know who they are, then it's more of a mystery once you get used to who they are, But it's beautiful working with the angels. And sometimes another thing I do is I have an Archangel Tarot deck, and I might draw a card from there, and then whatever the message is, I might then be guided to draw a gem. So I'm not looking, because it already has identified an archangel, I'm not looking to identify one. I'm just looking for the energy that will support me in receiving the message and whatever healing might be required. Another thing I mentioned to Ruth, and I'm not sure how we talked a little bit about it, maybe you'd comment too, Terry. I feel the energy in my right hand. When I hold them in my left hand, I don't receive it in the same way. It feels like my right hand is a receiving hand. And I haven't ever really thought about that before exactly, but it just seems like that's where the energy comes.
Yeah, that's interesting. If I'm feeling it, I'll put the gem in my right hand and I'll use my left hand on top. And maybe that's because I'm left-handed.
I'm left-handed too.
Oh, you are too. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we all just do what feels right. But yeah, I read with my left for some reason.
Yeah. But that's something to experiment with too. If you receive the gems, just to notice what it's like holding them in one hand or the other. I mean, there are all kinds of, just play with them and allow them. One time also, I might be in the middle of meditation and I'll draw one and I'm not looking at them. And there is one clear gem. And one time I drew the clear gem too. I thought, well, whatever, it's okay. It feels good, actually. It feels good right now. Yeah. Well, I forget, what is the clear gem for?
We were told to put an activator gem in, and the activator gem is white or clear. And it felt like a supercharger, like it just helped them to stay charged, although I can't imagine them running out of their divine energy, but that's what we were told, and we tend to follow directions, don't we, Terry?
Absolutely. And also, Jane, to go back to your comment about the left hand or right hand, I don't think there's any right or wrong. It's how it works with you. So I normally hold it in my left hand because I've always just received energy that way. But I think I'll try doing it in the right hand and see what happens. because like there's no right or wrong. No, I'm right-handed. Yeah, I am right-handed. Yeah. How about you, Phoenix? Are you left-handed or right-handed? Right. So it'll be interesting to see how, when you get yours, how that works with you as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I also wanted to mention that, and Jane kept saying this, to play with them, to be curious, the gems and also the members of the divinity, because we might express our experience with them, with the gems, with the angels, with the guides, and sometimes that then causes creates an idea in our heads of how it might look, which then prevents us from having our very own experience. So that while we might be sharing what our experience is with them, be curious, childlike wonder, play with them, because sometimes, and I've noticed it was this with myself, that sometimes we're looking for it in a specific way. So we say, visualize this, but then I might taste something or I might hear something, and then I might think, oh, it's not working. So
Right.
being open to all of both the physical and the inner senses, because it would reveal itself to you in a totally different way. Sometimes it might not come in that moment, it might come later on, you might be journaling, it might come to you in that way. So be open. So I just want to encourage everyone, just be open to what your way might be of interacting with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted, oh, thank you, Ruth, for the link, and I'll share that too. Um, Part of what we do in the Circle of Love and Light is send the love out to the world, and I'm assuming everybody, you should be feeling a lot of love by now if you've been watching. So I'd like to read Awakening's Dream, which is just a visualization of a more loving world. And while we're doing that, and if you have to go in the middle, Terry, that's fine. Just for us to have that opportunity to envision the world that we're wanting to create, because it is, actually the dream says, well, it says what we imagine we can create, which is true. So I'm just going to read this for you now. Imagine a world where love is the guiding force, where the unique gifts that each individual brings receive honor and respect, where all are nurtured in allowing their gifts to blossom, to manifest the joy of living in each moment. Imagine a world where all of nature is also honored, so all may live in harmony and share an increasingly vibrant and beautiful environment. What we imagine we can create starting in this moment. This vibrant world will come into being as each of us empowers ourselves to live the dream now and share it with others. Playing a part in the creation of this dream is the mission of Awakenings Institute.
Mm.
And this dream actually came to me in the 1990s, and I've been reading it every day, every time that we have the circle, because it still resonates to me as the truth. And I believe that although I didn't have the same kind of connection with angels that I have now, I believe it did come to me from the angels.
So Jane, I'm trying to find, here we go. Archangel Michael had given me a blessing that's part of the Angelic Gems.
Oh,
Really? So if you don't mind, it's on one of the gem cards.
oh, wonderful.
And I would love to read that. Terry, I know, sweetheart, that you need to head on and get ready for your other event.
Yes, thank you for having me here tonight. It's so beautiful to be with all of you.
Thank you,
And
Terry.
love you so much.
Love you, sweetie. So this is from Archangel Michael. It says, may it be with the blessings of God, the universe, Divine Mother, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael, that you, beloved of God, is anointed with love, light, and blessings to step further into your role of sacred being. This blessing is bestowed upon you such that you and all souls will be transformed through love and light. May every action taken and every word be said for the highest good of your growth, divine purpose, and for all involved. May you always seek guidance and counsel when you are unsure of your way. In love and light. Amen.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
Archangel Michael does good work.
Right.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited to get my gems tomorrow.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
it
I
is.
put the link in the Facebook chat. So
Great.
persons can got it there.
Perfect.
It is wonderful.
And one of the other things that I like to do as we come to the end of our time in the circle is to send out that love and light that we want for our week ahead, so that it's there for us. It can be there in every moment. And just imagine now your future is in front of you, and you can send all of those. I would say, of course, this is biased, but I would say to send the rainbow. Rosiel is so wonderful. If you can send whatever feels right to you, um, the perfect colors and tones, and if you want sparkles, just to send that out and fill your whole week with it, because we want you to have your best week ever and to stay connected with that love and light that is really the truth of who you are. So thank you all for that. And it has just felt magical having all of those beings. To me, it also it's almost like it's overwhelming,
It's a
you know,
lot.
to have so much energy and just all of that really beauty. It is spectacular.
Yes, definitely.
It is a lot. Well, thank you so much, Jane and Phoenix, for having Terry and me on here to talk about the gems.
Oh, of course. Well, thank you for coming and joining us. It's been really special, and the energy just feels so good. I'm still overwhelmed.
I felt as if I
um,
got a clearing and then an amplification.
Perfect.
And before we go, for anyone who is joining us who may not be aware of Enlightened World Network, would you like to say a few words about that too, Ruth, before we finish?
Sure. Enlightened World Network is Archangel Michael's brainchild. And about 5 years ago, I guess, he asked me to create a platform to help provide light workers to have a safe place where they can come and share the messages, share their stories, share what they are being asked to provide into the world. And not only does it give light workers a safe place to do that, it gives the rest of us a safe place to grow and transform. And it is a spiritual community. We've got a lot of podcasts available on YouTube. We've got about 2,200 videos up at this point. And we provide a live guided meditation every day of the year. We're on year 2 of that. And if you're curious, just go to YouTube, Enlightened World Network, and just scout around. There's so many different shows on there. Jane's been on there so many times, she and Philip with their show. And then they both also do meditations for us. And if you go to enlightenedworld.online, that's our website, there's a great deal of information on there as well. So I always say, welcome home to Enlightened World Network. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. And thank you, Phoenix, for joining us.
Yep.
Before we go, I also want to let everyone know that if you want to learn more about the Circle of Love and Light, you can find out more at circleofloveandlight.org on the internet. And of course, we're here on Facebook every week. And finally, I want to just express my gratitude to anyone and everyone who joins us, because it is your being here adds your own special, unique energy to this goal that we have of creating a more loving world. And every one of you matters. Every one of you is uniquely special. Every one of us, all of us, which I think is just a beautiful part of it. So if you want to help us to get the word out, also, you could do a couple of different things. If you're on Facebook, you can share this video with your friends. And you can also invite your friends to join us live, or anytime during the week you can also watch. So again, we hope you can join us next week when we'll delve further into the realms of possibilities and angels and love and light. And thank you again for joining us, and have a wonderful week, everyone.
Have a wonderful week.
God bless.